My precious child, I see something tonight that others have overlooked for far too long. I see the careful mask you wear each morning, the smile you practice before facing the world, the words you rehearse to sound acceptable, to appear composed, to meet what you believe is expected of you. But beneath that carefully constructed exterior, I see the truth. I see a soul exhausted from performing, a heart weary from constantly adjusting itself to fit into spaces that were never meant to contain your true nature. And tonight, my beloved, I am here to tell you something that will fundamentally alter the way you see your entire existence. You have been living under the weight of expectations that were never mine for you. You have been carrying standards that others placed upon your shoulders without your consent. Standards about who you should become, how you should behave, what you should pursue, even how you should feel. These invisible chains have bound you for so long that you have forgotten what it means to simply be. Not to become something, not to achieve something, but simply to exist as the person I created you to be from the very beginning. I need you to hear this with every fiber of your being. The version of yourself that you have been presenting to the world is not the complete you. It is a carefully edited version, shaped by years of approval seeking, fear of rejection, and desperate attempts to belong. You learned early that certain parts of yourself were welcomed while others needed to be hidden. You discovered that showing vulnerability invited judgment, that expressing your true opinions risked disapproval, that revealing your authentic desires might cost you relationships you desperately wanted to keep. So you learned to perform. You became skilled at reading rooms, at sensing what others needed from you, at morphing yourself to match their expectations. This survival mechanism served you when you were young and powerless, but my child, you are not that powerless person anymore. And what once protected you has now become your prison. The very adaptability that helped you survive is now preventing you from truly living. Tonight marks the beginning of your liberation. I am about to dismantle every false belief you have carried about what it means to be valuable, to be loved, to be enough. Because the foundation upon which you have built your entire sense of self is cracked. It was never meant to bear the weight you have placed upon it. Your worth was never supposed to come from external validation. It was never meant to fluctuate based on others' perceptions. It was never designed to require constant proof. Let me tell you what I see when I look at you, my beloved child. I see someone who has spent decades trying to earn what was already freely given. I see a soul who has been working tirelessly to deserve the love that I placed within you before you took your first breath. You have been striving to become worthy of acceptance when acceptance was your birthright from the moment I thought you into existence. The exhaustion you feel is not a sign of weakness. It is your spirit's way of telling you that this way of living is unsustainable. You were never meant to carry the burden of managing everyone's perception of you. You were never designed to be responsible for others' comfort at the expense of your own truth. The fatigue that settles into your bones each night, that heaviness that no amount of sleep seems to cure, is the weight of living a life that is not fully yours. I want to take you back to a moment you may have forgotten. Do you remember the child you once were before the world taught you to doubt yourself? Before criticism made you question your instincts? Before rejection made you hide your light? That child knew how to play without seeking permission. That child expressed joy without calculating whether it was appropriate. That child asked questions without fear of appearing foolish. That child was unedited, unfiltered, magnificently free. What happened to that child, my beloved? Where did that freedom go? It did not disappear because it was wrong. It faded because you were taught that authenticity was dangerous. You learned that being yourself came with risks, that certain emotions were unacceptable, that some dreams were too ambitious, that parts of your personality were too much or not enough. And slowly, painfully, you began to trim away the parts of yourself that the world seemed to reject. But here is what they never told you. Those parts they asked you to hide were not flaws. They were the very aspects of your being that held your greatest power. Your sensitivity that they called weakness is actually your capacity for deep connection. Your questioning nature that they labeled as difficult is your gift of discernment. Your intensity that they tried to dim is the fuel for your purpose. What they saw as problems I see as purpose tonight. I am calling those hidden parts of you back home. I am inviting every aspect of yourself that you buried for the sake of acceptance to rise to the surface again. Not recklessly, not carelessly, but with the wisdom you have gained through your journey. You are no longer the defenseless child who needed to hide to survive. You are a fully formed being with the strength to hold space for your complete truth. I know the fears that surface even as you hear these words. You worry that showing your authentic self will cost you relationships, that speaking your truth will create conflict, that claiming your needs will make you selfish, that honoring your boundaries will disappoint people you care about. These fears are not unfounded, my child. They are based on real experiences where being yourself led to real consequences. But let me reframe what you see as loss. When you show up authentically and someone walks away, you have not lost a genuine connection. You have gained clarity when you speak your truth and face resistance. You have not created a problem. You have revealed what was already there. When you honor your boundaries and someone calls you selfish, you have not become a bad person. You have simply stopped sacrificing yourself to maintain their comfort. The people who truly belong in your life will not require you to diminish yourself to earn your place. They will not need you to hide your struggles to make them comfortable. They will not ask you to suppress your growth because it challenges their stagnation. Real love, real friendship, real connection does not demand performance. It invites presence. I am aware that you have been taught to equate harmony with agreement, peace with silence, love with sacrifice. But true harmony allows for different voices. Genuine peace makes room for honest expression. Real love celebrates growth, even when that growth changes the dynamic of a relationship. The conflict you fear when you speak your truth is often the doorway to deeper, more authentic connection. Consider the energy you have spent trying to predict what others want from you, the mental gymnastics you perform daily, analyzing every interaction, replaying conversations, wondering if you said the right thing, worrying about how you were perceived. That exhausting cycle consumes so much of your life force. Imagine if you could redirect that energy toward your actual purpose, toward the dreams that light you up, toward the contributions only you can make to this world. You were not put on this earth to be everyone's version of perfect. You were placed here to be my version of purposeful, and my purpose for you does not require universal approval. It does not need unanimous agreement. It asks only that you show up as the fullness of who you are, trusting that the right doors will open and the right people will recognize what I have placed within you. Let me speak to the part of you that fears being too much. The part that has been told your enthusiasm is overwhelming. Your emotions are excessive. Your needs are demanding. You have learned to make yourself smaller, quieter, less vibrant to avoid taking up too much space. You apologize for your presence before you even enter a room. You minimize your accomplishments to make others comfortable. You downplay your gifts so you do not seem arrogant. But I did not create you to be small. I did not design you to dim your light so others feel less insecure about their own darkness. Your brightness is not an accident. It is intentional. And when you hide it, you are not being humble. You are being disobedient to the very purpose for which you were made. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is thinking of yourself less. It is knowing your value without needing to constantly prove it or defensively diminish it. Your bigness, your intensity, your passion, these are not flaws to be managed. They are fuel for the work I have called you to do. Yes, your energy will be too much for some people. That is not a problem with you. It is information about compatibility. Your job is not to be palatable to everyone. Your job is to be faithful to your calling. And your calling requires every ounce of the intensity you have been told to contain. Now let me address the voice in your head that says you are not enough. The voice that catalogs your failures, replays your mistakes, reminds you of every opportunity you missed, every relationship you could not save, every goal you did not reach. That voice is relentless in its criticism. It compares you to others and always finds you lacking. It sets impossible standards and then condemns you for falling short. That voice is not my voice, beloved. I do not measure you against others. I do not keep a record of your mistakes. I do not withhold my love until you achieve certain milestones. That critical voice was learned from a world that profits from your insecurity, from systems that need you to feel inadequate so you keep striving, keep buying, keep changing yourself to fit impossible ideals. My voice sounds different. It speaks truth. Yes, but truth wrapped in compassion. It calls you higher, but it does so with encouragement, not condemnation. It sees your potential without despising your present state. It acknowledges your struggles without defining you by them. It celebrates your progress without dismissing how far you have come. I want you to understand something crucial about the way I see failure. When you stumble, I do not see a defective person. I see someone learning. When you fall short of a goal, I do not see inadequacy. I see valuable information about what needs adjustment. When you make a mistake, I do not see someone unworthy of love. I see a human being doing the brave work of living, trying, growing. Your mistakes do not define you any more than your successes do. Both are simply experiences along your journey. Both offer lessons if you are willing to receive them with an open heart rather than a closed fist of shame. The difference between those who grow and those who stay stuck is not the absence of failure. It is the willingness to fail forward, to extract wisdom from pain, to let error become a teacher rather than a tormentor. So many of your decisions have been driven by fear of making the wrong choice. You have stayed in situations that no longer served you because leaving felt too risky. You have kept silent when you should have spoken because you feared the consequences. You have said yes when you meant no because disappointing others felt unbearable. You have built an entire life around avoiding regret, but in doing so, you have created a different kind of regret. The regret of never knowing who you could have become if you had been brave enough to honor your truth. Tonight, I am releasing you from the prison of perfectionism. I am breaking the chains of people-pleasing. I am dismantling the belief that your value depends on your performance. I am liberating you from the exhausting work of managing everyone's opinion of you. This freedom I am offering is not reckless. It is not selfish. It is the essential foundation for the life I have planned for you, because the work you are called to do requires your full presence. It demands your authentic voice. It needs the parts of you that are messy, uncertain, still growing. The world does not need another perfect person. It needs real people willing to show up honestly, to lead imperfectly, to love deeply despite the risk of loss. And you, my beloved child, are capable of being that kind of person. Not someday when you finally get it all together. Right now, in your current state of beautiful becoming, I need you to release the fantasy that there is a version of you that everyone will approve of. That version does not exist. For every person who thinks you are too much, there will be someone who finds you not enough. For every voice that says you should speak up, another will say you should stay quiet. For every critic who says you are moving too fast, someone else will say you are too slow. You will never satisfy all of them. So stop trying. Instead, anchor yourself in the only opinion that truly matters. My opinion, and my opinion of you, is unwavering. It is not based on your achievements or your failures. It is not conditional on your performance or your perfection. I see you, fully you, every hidden part, every struggle, every doubt. And my response is not disappointment. It is delight, because you are exactly who I created you to be, not who you will become someday, who you are right now. This does not mean you should stop growing. Growth is essential. But growth from a foundation of self-acceptance looks entirely different than growth fueled by self-rejection. When you grow from acceptance, you move toward your potential with curiosity and excitement. When you grow from rejection, you run from yourself, always trying to become someone else, never arriving at a place of peace. I want to address something you have carried in silence for too long. The guilt you feel for having needs, the shame around requiring rest, the belief that asking for help makes you weak. These lies have kept you trapped in exhausting cycles of independence, martyrdom, isolation. You have convinced yourself that needing nothing from others proves your strength. But my beloved, refusing to receive is not strength. It is fear masquerading as self-sufficiency. I designed you to live in community, to give and receive, to be supported, and to support others. This beautiful exchange is not a sign of weakness. It is the very fabric of human connection. When you refuse to let others help you, you rob them of the joy of giving. When you hide your struggles, you deprive others of the opportunity to show up for you. When you pretend to have it all together, you make it harder for others to share their own vulnerabilities. Your willingness to be honest about your needs, your struggles, your limits. This is not a flaw. It is a gift to those around you. It gives others permission to be honest about their own humanity. It creates space for real relationship rather than performative connection. The strongest people are not those who need nothing. The strongest people are those who know what they need and have the courage to ask for it. So let me rewrite the story you have been telling yourself about independence. Independence is not about needing no one. It is about not letting your needs define your worth. It is being able to stand on your own while also knowing when to lean on others. It is having the wisdom to distinguish between healthy self-reliance and isolating self-sufficiency. True strength holds both capacity and vulnerability, competence and humility, giving and receiving. Now I want you to consider the dreams you have buried, the ones you decided were too unrealistic, too selfish, too late to pursue. You have a long list of reasons why those dreams are impossible. You are too old. You lack resources. You missed your window. Other people are depending on you. It would be irresponsible. These reasons sound logical, practical, mature, but underneath the logic is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of discovering that you are not capable of achieving what your heart desires. But what if I told you that those dreams were not random wishes? What if they were my whispers to your spirit calling you toward the path I designed specifically for you? What if the desires that have persisted despite every logical reason to let them go are actually invitations to step into your true purpose? What if age, resources, and timing are not the obstacles you think they are, but rather the circumstances through which I plan to display my power in your life? I am not asking you to be reckless. I am not suggesting you abandon responsibility, but I am inviting you to re-examine the stories you have told yourself about limitation. Many of the boundaries you see are not actually walls. They are lines drawn by fear, by doubt, by past disappointments. And lines can be redrawn. Limits can be tested. Closed doors can be tried again with new keys. You have spent so much time focusing on what you cannot do that you have lost sight of what you can do. You have cataloged your weaknesses so thoroughly that you have forgotten your strengths. You have rehearsed your failures so often that you have erased the memory of your victories. Tonight I am asking you to shift your gaze, to look at what is possible rather than what is probable, to consider what could be rather than what has been. What would you do if you knew you could not fail? Not in the sense that success is guaranteed, but in the sense that even failure would not diminish your worth. What would you pursue if you were not afraid of judgment? Where would you go if you trusted that I am making a way even when you cannot see the path? Who would you become if you believed that your most authentic self is your most powerful self? These are not rhetorical questions, my child. They are invitations to a new way of being, a way that is led by faith rather than fear, by possibility rather than probability, by vision rather than limitation. This shift does not happen overnight. It is a daily practice of choosing to see yourself as I see you rather than as the world has defined you. It is moment-by-moment decisions to trust my voice over the chorus of doubt. I know you have been hurt by people you trusted, betrayed by those you loved, disappointed by relationships you invested in deeply. These wounds have made you cautious. You have built walls to protect yourself from future pain. You have developed intricate systems to detect red flags, to maintain distance, to avoid vulnerability. These defenses served you when you were healing, but now they are preventing you from fully connecting. Not everyone deserves access to your heart. Discernment is wisdom. But when you let past pain dictate present possibilities, you imprison yourself. When you assume everyone will hurt you like others have, you create a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you refuse to risk being known because you might be rejected, you guarantee a life of lonely safety. I am not asking you to be naive. I am asking you to be brave, to recognize that the risk of connection is also the gateway to the deepest joys of human existence. To acknowledge that while not everyone will honor your trust, some people will, and those people are worth the risk. The love, friendship, partnership, community you long for exists on the other side of vulnerability. What if you approached new relationships with hope instead of suspicion? What if you gave people the opportunity to prove themselves rather than requiring them to overcome your walls before you even consider trusting them? What if you believed that there are people in this world who will see your value, honor your heart, and choose you consistently? Because those people exist, beloved, and they are looking for someone like you. Someone real, someone honest, someone willing to be known. Your past does not have to be your future. The patterns that characterized old relationships do not have to repeat in new ones. You have learned, you have grown, you have developed wisdom that you did not have before. You are not the same person who entered those painful situations. You are stronger now, wiser now, more grounded now, and from this new place of wholeness, you can create different outcomes. I want to talk about the timeline you have been carrying in your mind, the one that says you should have been further along by now, should have achieved more, healed faster, figured it out sooner. This timeline is not mine, beloved. I do not work according to the world's schedule. I am not bound by age brackets or societal milestones. My timing is perfect, even when it feels painfully slow to you. Everything you have experienced has been preparation. Every delay has been development. Every closed door has been direction. Nothing has been wasted. Not the years you spent in the wrong places. Not the relationships that ended. Not the opportunities that did not work out. All of it has shaped you into who you are now. All of it was necessary to bring you to this exact moment. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. The journey you have walked, with all its detours and delays, has given you something that cannot be gained any other way. You have depth that comes only from difficulty. You have compassion that springs from personal pain. You have wisdom that is earned through experience. These qualities are your greatest assets. They are what will make your message resonate, your leadership authentic, your impact meaningful. So release the timeline. Let go of the should-haves. Stop comparing your chapter 20 to someone else's chapter 40. Your story is yours. Your pace is right. Your process is necessary, and your time is coming. Not because you have finally done enough to deserve it, but because everything needed to be in place first. The preparation is complete. The foundation is solid. The season is shifting. Can you feel it, my beloved? The change that is already in motion. It is subtle but undeniable, like the first hints of spring while winter still holds the ground. The shift is not yet visible on the surface, but underneath, everything is awakening. Seeds that were planted long ago are beginning to stir. Roots that grew deep in darkness are finding their way toward light. What has been dormant is coming alive. This awakening will not look like you expected. It will be both bigger and quieter than you imagined, more profound and more ordinary. It will come through open conversations, unexpected opportunities, internal shifts that change how you see everything. You will not wake up one day to find everything different. You will wake up many days noticing small changes that accumulate into transformation. The way you respond to criticism will change. You will feel less defensive, less devastated. The way you handle disappointment will shift. You will recover faster, extract lessons more readily. The way you make decisions will evolve. You will trust your instincts more, require less external validation. These seemingly small changes will compound into a fundamentally different way of moving through the world. And as you change, your relationships will change. Some will deepen as people respond to your increased authenticity. Some will fade as the dynamics that held them together no longer fit who you are becoming. Both outcomes are necessary. Both are good. You do not need to hold on to everyone. Some people are meant for seasons, not lifetimes. Releasing relationships that no longer serve your growth is not failure. It is faithfulness to your evolution. Your work will change too. Not necessarily what you do, but how you do it. You will bring a new energy to old tasks. You will see possibilities you missed before. You will have courage to try approaches you previously dismissed. You will care less about approval and more about impact. You will prioritize meaning over metrics, contribution over compensation. This shift will make your work more fulfilling and ultimately more successful. But here is what I need you to understand. This transformation I am describing is not something you need to manufacture. It is not another goal to achieve or standard to meet. It is something I am doing in you and through you. Your only job is to cooperate with the process, to say yes when I call you forward, to rest when I ask you to wait, to release when I show you what no longer fits, to receive when I offer you something new. This cooperation requires trust, not blind trust that ignores wisdom or discernment, but founded trust that believes I am good, that I am for you, that I have plans to prosper you and not to harm you. This trust is built moment by moment, choice by choice, through small acts of obedience that prove my faithfulness. Each time you choose truth over pleasing, you will find that I am there, giving you words you did not know you had. Each time you set a boundary, you will discover that I protect what you have claimed. Each time you step toward your calling despite fear, you will experience my provision in ways you could not have orchestrated. And each of these experiences will deepen your trust, making the next choice easier. I am not asking for perfect faith. I am asking for available faith. Faith that is willing to take the next step even while doubting the step after that. Faith that moves forward even when it cannot see the entire path. Faith that trusts my character even when it cannot understand my methods. This kind of faith is not weakness. It is the greatest strength you possess, because it allows you to access my power rather than relying solely on your own. Now let me speak to the weariness in your bones, the exhaustion that rest does not cure, the fatigue that goes deeper than physical tiredness. You have been carrying burdens that were never yours to carry. You have been fighting battles that were never yours to fight. You have been solving problems that were never yours to solve, and your soul is tired. I am inviting you to lay it all down. The responsibility you feel for others' emotions, the guilt about disappointing people, the pressure to have all the answers, the weight of maintaining peace at any cost. None of these were ever meant for your shoulders. I do not need you to be everyone's savior. I do not require you to fix what is broken in others. I am not asking you to sacrifice yourself to keep everyone else comfortable. What I am asking is that you steward your own soul well, that you protect the peace I have given you, that you honor the limits I built into your design, that you receive the rest I offer without guilt or apology. This is not selfishness. This is obedience. Because when you care for yourself properly, you have something genuine to offer others. When you operate from overflow rather than depletion, your service becomes sustainable. Rest is not a reward you earn after you have done enough. It is a gift I offer because you are mine. You do not have to justify it. You do not have to prove you deserve it. You simply receive it because I say you need it. And when you rest in my presence, not just physically but spiritually, I restore more than your energy. I renew your perspective. I recalibrate your priorities. I remind you of what truly matters. As we close this time together, I want you to know something that will anchor you in the days ahead. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Even in the moments when you felt most isolated, most misunderstood, most abandoned, I was there. I saw every tear. I heard every prayer, even the ones you could not articulate. I held you when you thought you were holding yourself together. I carried you when you thought you were walking alone. And I am not leaving you now. As you step into this new chapter, I am going before you, preparing the way. I am walking beside you, providing companionship. I am behind you, protecting what you leave behind. I am above you, giving perspective. I am beneath you, providing a foundation. I am within you, offering strength. You are completely surrounded by my presence, completely secure in my love, completely equipped for what lies ahead. The future I am calling you into is better than anything you have experienced before. Not because it will be without challenge, but because you will face those challenges from a place of wholeness rather than woundedness, from security rather than insecurity, from purpose rather than aimlessness. The difficulties ahead will not break you. They will reveal the strength I have been building in you all along. And as you move forward, you will discover something beautiful. Your story, with all its pain and triumph, has prepared you to help others. The wounds you carry have given you credibility to speak to those who are wounded. The battles you have fought have equipped you to guide others through their struggles. What the enemy meant for your destruction, I will use for others' healing. Your mess will become your message. Your test will become your testimony. This is the legacy I am calling you to build. Not a legacy of perfection, but one of authentic transformation. Not a legacy of having it all together, but one of being real about the journey. Not a legacy of never falling, but one of always getting back up. This kind of legacy does not require you to be extraordinary. It simply requires you to be honest. So take what you have received tonight and live it, not perfectly, but intentionally. Not flawlessly, but faithfully. Show up as your full self, knowing that is enough. Speak your truth, trusting that the right people will hear it. Pursue your calling, believing that I will provide what you need when you need it. Set boundaries, confident that protecting your peace is honoring my design. Rest without guilt, knowing that your worth is not tied to your productivity. And on the days when you forget all of this, when old patterns resurface and doubt creeps back in, come back to this moment. Remember what I have spoken over you. Remember who I say you are. Remember that nothing in heaven or earth can separate you from my love. Remember that I am for you, not against you. Remember that your best days are not behind you. They are ahead of you. You are my beloved child. I see you completely and love you unconditionally. You are not too much, and you are not enough. You are exactly right, and I am so proud of who you are becoming. Not who you will be someday, but who you are choosing to be right now, in this moment, as you decide to trust me, to release the weight, to step into freedom. Go now in peace. Walk in the confidence of who you are, live from the security of being fully loved, and know that I am with you always, every step of the way. This is not the end of our conversation, my precious one. It is the beginning of a new way of hearing my voice, of seeing yourself, of moving through this world. Return often. There is always more to receive, always deeper truth to discover, always greater freedom to walk in. I bless you now with clarity to see what is true, courage to live what you know, and compassion to extend grace to yourself as you grow. I bless you with relationships that honor your authenticity and opportunities that align with your purpose. I bless you with rest that restores and work that fulfills. I bless you with the unshakable knowing that you belong to me and nothing can change that. You are mine. You are loved. You are free. Now live like it.